Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Sorry I look a little bit crazy. I just took my dog on a walk. And since I'm uploading a video every single day this week, I have to stay on top of my game and I don't really have time to get cute for it, okay? So I'm just living the regular everyday life. But I'm gonna get started. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I do a lot of different beauty tutorials, makeup, hair, skincare, and then now I'm doing bridal tutorials. And yeah, so I'm really excited. I hope y'all enjoyed the getting started video that I uploaded yesterday. Today is gonna be all about budget, which is by far the most requested video that I got from y'all. Like, I had a lot of people commenting on my Instagram and things like that, talking about how they wanted to know about budgets, and I've had a lot of y'all text me. So let's get started. And if you didn't see my first video, it was all about what to do as soon as you get engaged. But if you have any questions, as I mentioned in there, but if you didn't watch, you didn't know. If you have any questions, comment on my Instagram or send me a private message on Instagram or email me via Instagram. It's Kelsey Skyrob is my name, K-E-L-S-E-Y S-K-Y-R-O-B. And it's really hard to see the comments that are on YouTube. So that's why I'm having y'all do that. A lot of times I won't see comments on YouTube till like a week later. It's really weird. But let's get started talking about budget. And this is the biggest headache of wedding planning, I'll be honest. Wedding planning is so much fun, and the worst part, I just got a glimpse of my hair, the worst part of wedding planning is the budget. Because, I mean, we all want our dream wedding, and the budget is the only thing that stops us from that, okay? And so it is hard to come up with a budget, and a budget that is able to give you a gorgeous wedding that you've always dreamed of, but at the same time be affordable. So I'm going to share some of the tips with y'all, or some of my tips with y'all on how I chose a wedding budget, how I stuck with it, and everything like that. So for me, my wedding actually was, I split the cost with my family, and then my husband helped me a lot too, or my then fiance helped me quite a bit too. But so we were on a pretty tight budget, and that's one of the reasons I didn't do a wedding planner. I planned everything myself, and I really looked for a lot of different hacks on where I could save money and cut cost. And I read so many different articles on Pinterest, so many blog articles and different things like that. So I'm going to share some of those tips with y'all too. But the number one thing I'll say is stick to the budget. Once you set it, try to stick to it as hard as you can, because it is very easy to go astray from that budget. You'll just say, oh, well, this dress is only $500 or $100 or whatever more than what I budgeted out for. But you have to remember that if you go $100 over there, then you need to figure out where you can cut it somewhere else, because if not, $100 is going to add up fast, and then you're going to panic. And that is where I made a mistake, and my husband ended up having to help me out a little bit, because I was like, I didn't realize that I went over the budget. And I mean, it's a big deal. You go over the budget, I mean, the venue is asking you for a check at the end. So it's not like, oh yeah, nobody will notice I went over the budget. No, they're looking at you at the end and they're like, okay, I'm ready for my payment. And so is the florist, the band, whoever. So that is just something to think about. And I know that's not a fun topic to think about, but you have to be realistic, because you don't want your big day to be a horrible day because you didn't budget right and can't afford to pay everyone that you need to pay. And that's just the real deal, okay? But once you get that budget, stick to it. And I say this about everything. Do not go buy your wedding dress and then right after start looking at Pinterest at wedding dresses. Do not. Do not go on Instagram and hashtag wedding dresses, because you're gonna find a million wedding dresses. Sorry, I cannot talk. It's Monday. I'm filming this on Monday, even though y'all are watching the other one today. But you're going to see a million wedding dresses that you think are so much more gorgeous than yours, and that's just the truth. So don't do that. And I kind of made that mistake a little bit too. You know, I would, after I took my engagement pictures, then I'd go online and look at all these engagement pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what a cool idea. Just give it up. Look at other stuff and just give it up because you already have yours, and so do not dwell on that. So as soon as you get engaged, after you set your budget, I know I talked about how to get started yesterday, and so here are some different ways you can kind of save. A lot of people cut out save the dates. For me, it was very vital that we did save the dates since we were having a destination wedding. I wanted everybody to know way in advance that, hey, you need to buy flights and hotels and book everything. And that's why I waited. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? That is why I save the dates. But that is something that can cut out a huge cost. If you are able, like if you're having a small wedding and you're able to get in touch with everybody way beforehand, or you're just having a normal wedding but it's not a destination wedding, then they say to send your invitations out 3 months before, and that is plenty of time if you are you know, let's say you live in New Orleans and are getting married in New Orleans or whatever. But if you are having destination, they say to send the save the dates out 8 months before and the invitations out 6 months before. So this is just a little tidbit of information for y'all. But if you don't have to have save the dates, that is a big part that will cut a huge cost, because especially if you use the save the date that's a magnet or anything that has a picture on it, those are very expensive because they're printed in color. Anything printed in color like that is going to be expensive. But I will tell you, if you're looking for save the dates, Vistaprint is probably the most affordable website that I found. Also, there's Wedding Paper Divas, and there's Minted.com. Minted is where I got mine, but I actually kept up to date with them. Like, I got on their email list and I got them whenever they had a sale. And so if you do that, you can watch these websites and see when they have different sales, and almost all of them for your first order give you a coupon, or if you sign up for their emails, you'll notice like a week later you'll have a coupon. So maybe go ahead and sign up and just see, you know, what kind of deals you can get. And they also, all these websites have other things like Christmas cards and invitations and stuff like that. Wedding invitations too. And I'll say for my wedding invitations, I actually got those at Etsy. If you're not familiar with Etsy, it's etsy.com. And basically it's where people, like, let's say I make comforters homemade, or handmade, not like just, you know, it's really good stuff. I could sell it on there. So it's like a marketplace. But the good thing is there are a lot of people on there that are very good with computers and can make lots of different visual arts and invitations, things like that. And some of them you can look through and pick your design, and you can print them from home, or you can go print them at Office Depot or somewhere. That's a huge way to cut costs. They have invitations on there, save the dates, and there's lots of local people. And besides all of that, they have everything from wedding dresses to bridesmaids robes to your something blue. I got a lot of stuff off Etsy because you can find a style that you like and really price out different shops and find the most affordable one. So I got my garter there. I got quite a few things there. Then, yeah, so Etsy, you can get invitations and all different things like that. Another thing is that on your wedding dresses and your bridesmaids dresses, don't just go to a bridal shop. If you are really looking to cut costs, like my bridesmaids dresses, you know, most of them run around $200 on average, $150 to $200 if you go to a wedding shop. But my bridesmaids dresses cost from $30 to $50, and I got them off ASOS.com, which is ASOS.com. And they have gorgeous dresses. They have wedding or dresses that aren't considered wedding dresses, but they could be worn as wedding dresses. Also, Revolve.com has some wedding dresses, but I got bridesmaids dresses off of ASOS, and I absolutely loved them. They were around $50 or $60, I think, but then they ran a huge sale, so a lot of my bridesmaids got them for like $30. So I don't know if you are, you know, having your bridesmaids buy their own dresses. I did. I just had them buy their own because honestly my budget was tight, and I'm like, girls, just deal with it. But that is something to think about too. And if you are buying them for your bridesmaids, you might want to really look at ASOS and see what you can come up with. But I absolutely loved my bridesmaids dresses. I still think they're the prettiest ones that I've ever seen. I loved them. And they were like $30. So that is just another trick that you can do. And whenever it comes to jewelry, for your bridesmaids or you. I don't know if you've been to the big dress shops and you've seen that they have these huge earrings that are like $300 and are crazy, insanely expensive. Well, most dress shops, not all of them, but a lot of dress shops go to Sam Moon out of Texas and get their earrings. Well, I went and got my earrings there because I've been getting pageant earrings there forever. And so I actually got my earrings from there, and you can save so much money because I think I paid $5 for mine, and they are huge and gorgeous. They look just like they're from a bridal store because a lot of bridal stores do sell them, and I've seen these exact same ones in some of the other stores that I've went through. And so that's something to think about too. That's a huge way to save money. They do have a website, but I don't know if they have all like the big pageant and bridal earrings on there, but if you live anywhere near Texas, it is worth the drive to go there. It's an amazing store, number one. But number two, you can save hundreds of dollars on your earrings and any accessories, really. All right, next. Oh, you're going to want to find a photographer, of course, for your save the dates and your wedding. And so one of the ways that I found a lot of people, and it's actually, or a lot of my vendors actually, was through Instagram. And I found, even though I bought my invitations off Etsy, I found them on Instagram. So what you can do is just hashtag weddings, or there's a lot of different, you can look on my Instagram at some of the ones I'm following. I'm following a lot of different wedding pages because I just love looking at wedding stuff. But there, you can get ideas from there. You can find, like, that's how I found these bridesmaids dresses. Somebody else had them and I said, hey, where'd you get these? And she said asos.com. But I also found my photographers on Instagram. We used two different photographers, one for our save the dates and one for the wedding, because for our save the dates, we were living in Nashville and Louisville at the time, so we chose to get them done in Kentucky, and we used a Kentucky photographer that we found on there. And he was somebody that was up and coming, and he's still up and coming. But what I mean by that is that he isn't somebody that's done a million engagement pictures. I mean, he's still getting started, and so he's interested in new ideas and isn't going to charge you through the roof. And it was the same way with our wedding photographer as well. She's somebody that's just been doing it a couple of years and is getting started. I think you can save so much money by finding photographers that find them people that you love their style and hire those people. New photographers that are not going to charge you an arm and a leg. They haven't done a billion weddings and been in Southern Weddings magazine a million times, and your wedding is just another whatever. Like, find photographers that really care and that are going to give you affordable pricing, and that makes a huge difference because photographers are very expensive, and if you pay all that and then don't even really love their style, you just kind of chose them because they had a lot of experience, it's like, oh, well, maybe you could have chose somebody else. So I found them by doing hashtag wedding photographer, or like hashtag Louisiana wedding photographer, hashtag Kentucky. And actually my photographer is Layers Photography, and she came down from Arkansas. She's in Northwest Arkansas, and she came down to New Orleans and did pictures from a wedding, and she was amazing. And it's actually a team. It's her and and a guy that comes with her. And then the guy that did mine in Kentucky is Caleb Irvin Photo, Irvin. And he was really great too. So if you're in Kentucky, Tennessee, Nashville, any of that, he was amazing as well. So that just gives y'all a range of some affordable photographers that did amazing jobs and have really great style. Here are some other ways that I cut costs. So even though we did a destination wedding and people came all that way to go to New Orleans, we did not do favors. I know a lot of people do wedding favors, but you can cut for sure a couple $100 by taking out wedding favors, if not a couple $1,000s. It just depends on what kind of favors you're looking at. Also, we did not do a wedding video, which probably would shock a lot of people, like, oh my gosh, you didn't do a wedding video. But The most important thing to me was to have beautiful pictures. I feel like you can hang pictures on your walls and have them on your social media where you see them all the time, and like at your desk and just everywhere. You see them all the time, to where a wedding video you may watch, you know, once every 5 years, and even though it would be really sweet, and I honestly wish I had one, but they're very expensive. The wedding video, I priced out a lot of different people, and if we would have gotten a wedding video, it would have been just as much. Actually quite a bit more than even our photography or anything like that. So I chose to cut that out. But so that's something to think about, and you know, it's all in your preference. If that's something you can live without, then maybe go ahead and live without it and save you some cash. And last but not least, this is the last thing I can think of where we really cut down on cost, but that was our music. I don't know how familiar you are with oh my gosh, sorry, I keep looking down here. I'm ADD. I don't know how familiar you are with, you know, wedding reception music, but my favorite ever is a band. I love live bands. Well, if you didn't know, like me, I didn't know this before, but live bands are the most expensive thing ever. You can cut, I mean, live bands are almost, at least all the ones that I contacted, they're almost triple what a DJ would be. And so think about that. And you know, for me, I love live music, but then I thought, hey, I think I can get over it. And we ended up, because we got married in New Orleans, and we wanted to do the traditional Louisiana second line, where you do the second line band and the parade and all that. So what we did, instead of doing a band the whole time, is we had a band for the last hour, and we saved so much money by doing that. So if you're in New Orleans and you want to do a second line, and you're trying to figure out how to budget that in, that's definitely something to think about, because you can do it just for the last hour and you save quite a bit. But other than that, doing a DJ, I loved the DJ. Actually, the DJ was one of my very favorite vendors, because I felt like they were so fun, and you don't have to worry about a DJ, because if they play Beyonce, it's going to sound like Beyonce. If you request a Beyonce song and it's a band, you don't know what it's going to sound like. It might sound horrible. So thank y'all so much for watching. I hear some banging in there, but please subscribe to my channel down below. Tomorrow's video is going to be all about bridal beauty prep. Thanks so much for watching this series. And like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. Just send me a message on Instagram or comment on there, or you can try to comment on here, but I don't know if it will go through. But thank y'all so much for watching.